The 5 questions of manipulation, shadow tactics and conscious defense. 1. The sensitivity attack. The manipulator's first weapon is psychological invalidation. When accused of wrongdoing, they respond not by addressing the substance but by attacking the observer's right to feel. The question, "Why are you being so sensitive?" reframes perceptiveness as weakness. Yet sensitivity is the psyche's radar, alerting us to incongruence. Labeling perception as fragility silences the voice most likely to detect deception. The defense is simple but decisive: reclaim the frame by responding, "I am not being sensitive. I am being perceptive." This forces the manipulator into exposure, anger, deflection, or false charm, revealing their true intent. Footnote: sensitivity is not weakness but early detection of incongruence, weaponized by manipulators to silence perception. 2. The trust demand. The second weapon is the demand for unearned trust. The manipulator asks, "You trust me, right?" A psychological ultimatum masked as intimacy. Genuine trust emerges unconsciously through consistent congruence of word and deed. By contrast, demanded trust is symptomatic of duplicity. This tactic triggers what can be termed the loyalty conflict complex, where the conscious mind feels pressured to be agreeable while the unconscious warns of danger. The antidote is conscious detachment: respond calmly. Trust is earned through consistency, not through questions. This separates loyalty from guilt and exposes intent. Footnote: trustworthy actors never demand trust. Consistency, not insistence, is the true currency of reliability. 3. The accusation reversal. Third comes the reversal technique: "Are you accusing me of something?" Here the manipulator deflects suspicion by transforming investigator into accused. This maneuver projects guilt outward, forcing the observer into apology and self-justification. In analytical terms, it is the responsibility reversal, a transfer of the burden of proof. The proper countermeasure is silence, what may be called the therapeutic pause, followed by 3 words: "Should I be?" Innocence requires no defense, only guilt recoils. This disciplined response unmasks the shadow by refusing to accept projected blame. Footnote: manipulators reverse inquiry by projection. Composure and silence restore balance and reveal guilt. 4. The innocence performance. The fourth tactic is the counterfeit of honesty: "Would I ever lie to you?" Genuine truth requires no performance, it is evidenced through transparency. This question creates emotional debt, pressuring the target to feel guilt for doubt. The technique exploits what may be termed unconscious confession through overcompensation. The manipulator's performance of innocence is itself evidence of deception. The appropriate response reframes the inquiry: "That is not the right question. The question is, would I know if you did?" By invoking conscious awareness, the fog of emotional theater is pierced, and the liar is compelled to confront exposure. Footnote: honest actors do not stage innocence, performance itself signals deception. 5. The forced forgetting. The final and most insidious tactic is the plea for premature resolution: "Can't we just move on?" This is psychological burial, denial of truth for the illusion of peace. Yet without comprehension, forgiveness is counterfeit and wounds fester. Manipulators exploit exhaustion, pushing for amnesia rather than resolution. The countermeasure is conscious anchoring: "I will move on when I understand what happened, not before." This asserts that clarity, not confusion, is the foundation of peace. Genuine healing requires confrontation of reality, anything less is submission to shadow. Footnote: calls to move on conceal attempts to erase accountability. True peace rests on comprehension, not amnesia. 6. Sovereignty and individuation. The deeper defense lies not in any single retort but in the cultivation of psychological sovereignty. Manipulators depend upon reaction, detachment deprives them of oxygen. By pausing, grounding, and responding from the centered self rather than wounded complexes, one becomes unassailable. This process, known in depth psychology as individuation, integrates shadow into conscious selfhood. The manipulator thrives in darkness, consciousness is sunlight. Once the unconscious is made conscious, control collapses. Freedom is not absence of challenge but presence of awareness. In sovereignty, manipulation ceases to function. Footnote: individuation transforms manipulation into impotence by shifting response from compulsion to conscious choice.